No doubt you and the rest of the world has heard by now about the death of Hugo Chavez at 58. The world has lost a tremendous leader, a man who gave it his all to do everything for the people. At times like this, it's important to remember some of the achievements that Venezuela actually accomplished under the leadership of Hugo Chavez. For one, it cut the poverty rate in half. I don't recall many bourgeois countries doing that. In all the decades of capitalist leaders of Venezuela, none of them were able to do that. In fact, that's an accomplishment almost completely unique to Hugo Chavez. He cut extreme poverty by a third. With the money generated from the nationalized oil industry, he's able to pay off the IMF debts and remove the IMF from the country. And that's one of the greatest things any country can do for themselves, is get the IMF straight out. Now, I could go on a really, really long time talking about the accomplishments of Hugo Chavez and what he managed to do as a leader. But let's just try to remember him. There's no need for me to go on about it in a video. I did want to bring up that the Venezuelan government, upon announcing his death, kicked out U.S. diplomats. There was talk of an attempted coup after he died, so they kicked him out of the country when he finally did pass away in order to avoid anything. And the last thing that I do want to mention before I end this video is that Hugo Chavez, now that he's died, there's been some question as to whether or not the United States has had like an assassin poison him, possibly with some kind of radioactive element to actually cause the cancer. Again, it's one of those really out there sounding conspiracies, which really, to me, isn't really that far out there considering the number of times there's been assassination attempts on Fidel Castro that have failed, and sometimes the cartoonish level of attempts that were made on his life. All I can say is this: if at some time in the future we find out that he actually was killed by a United States agent, was actually poisoned, then may I say, because honestly, America would really deserve it. But for now, let us just acknowledge the fact that Hugo Chavez, one of the greatest leaders of this century, has passed away. That hopefully his replacement, the second man in charge, will do just as good a job. I've heard that he's a hardliner himself. And what I hope is that he's a pretty damned hardliner, and that he can continue the accomplishments that the Bolivarian Revolution have had. But that's enough for this video. To you, Hugo Chavez, rest in peace. Socialismo o muerte. Hey Mouse Rebel News fans, I just wanted to let you know that I've released a new ebook debunking the claims made by Trevor Luden that Barack Obama is a communist. He made a challenge that if anybody could refute his proof that Obama is a communist, that he would stop calling him one and take his own book calling him one off the market. So if you want, head over to the MRN bookstore on lulu.com and check it out.